All right, guys, so we're getting ready to go out and do a delivery today. You can see Nando from Sutai backing his truck up now. This is not our normal packing location. We're not at Sutai Muay Thai. We're actually at my house today. Because of COVID, we're not allowed to be able to pack at Sutai for the last, say, 6 weeks or so. So we've been packing at our houses, we've been packing at friends' houses, we've been packing at housing lots, things like this. So today we're packing up. We've got 1,000 bags to get out on the road delivering using 2 trucks. So we're going to be using multiple trips. Each truck can take about 250. So probably at least 2 trips today as we head out and deliver. You can see Zeera there in the background. We're getting some of the Villa Market supplies to go give to one of our packing pods to pack up for us today. So join us as we ride along today and we head on out on our delivery. So Nando, how does it feel to actually have your own truck today? Pretty much every day Zeera is taking a truck out of Sutai and delivering. So today you got it and you're on board with us?
Yeah, so that will be good. So today's Sunday, so we got the third shot just to allow us to be like come back delivery with the team.
And what's going on with the grey hair, Nando? I see it over there, man.
You know, the age has come, experience, Shaun. I need to get the blonde too.
All right.
But it will be amazing today. Like today's Sunday and a little bit cloudy, but we're gonna help some families today in Phuket.
All right, so we're loading up together, Nando. We're gonna roll out all day out delivering.
Yeah, let's do it.
Radio, so we're rolling out in 2 trucks today. Truck number 1 is Zeera. Zeera's gonna say hello. Say hello, Zeera. And Suid over there. All right, they're rolling out in truck number 1. Truck number 2, got Nando from Sutai and myself. Keep up with us as we get along. Radio, first stop today is gonna be at our volunteer coordinator's house, who did a heroic effort and packed an entire 1,000 life bags by themselves. Normally, if we have a team of say 10 or 20, that takes 3 odd hours, and they've done this all by themselves. Amazing effort. Needed only because of COVID restrictions right now. This is what 1,000 bags looks like. Right on, Nando, we've loaded up I think about 150 bags into this truck. We're heading off to Shaun for first delivery today. The other truck's all loaded up, but it's going to wait for us. It's going to do the second delivery because this first one's just 150. So from here down to Shaun about 45 minutes, and that's first delivery for the day. Good Nando, he's so serious when he's driving. So Nando, I reckon we're about 19, if not 20 months into this program. The number one question I always get asked is, why do we keep doing it? You know, like most people, they maybe do it a few weeks or a few months and they give up. You know, even the other day, we were down in Patong with Dave Wilson, who was an inspiring guy in the start of doing this COVID relief work, because he was running the Patong relief program, but he said after 6 to 8 weeks he was just so exhausted that he had to stop. So I've answered the question a few times. So now, Nando, as we're driving down to Shaun, the question is to you: what keeps you going?
First of all, is like what keeps you going is the team. If you have a strong team like we have now, we have Zeera, we have a crew Bangit and all other guys and then to support. You cannot do by yourself. And again, every time we go for a donation and you see the gratitude on people's faces, like a fuel to the next one, and next one you get next fuel, and then next one. That's what motivates us, like motivate me myself personally, when I see the people's gratitude, like to receive a hope, where these days the hope is the last thing people have it, and then we come to their houses and drop a little hope on their laps, and then that's gratitude on the people's face, and keep going. They're a strong team.
And we've talked about this before too, though, Nando, and like you came from humble beginnings yourself as well, and when you get to go and see some of the people that we help, it reminds you a little bit of home, maybe not of your childhood and upbringing, but of the people that you knew back home.
Yeah, so like I will explain to Shaun, like my dad worked in a company, and he was a manager of like 400 people, and then those people, sometimes they have families like really, really poor, and sometimes my dad spent the weekends like go around houses and help with kind of like a small proportion of what we're doing now. But I always have this good example from my dad and my aunties. They always help without expecting receive anything back, just like the bottom of their heart, and they give the best they can. Sometimes just it's not how much you can give and how much the love you can give, like if you can give one baht, 2 bahts, or $1, $2, but it's the bottom of your heart is enough, and that's why I learned since the beginning when I was a kid, always give without expecting to receive back. This is something I personally, I feel so good about myself when I able to help someone, and I able to it's not just like you guys, you and Lisa, we've spent like hours and hours like packing life bags, but just to see the good example you and Lisa give to everyone is enough to keep everyone going.
Okay guys, we're just arriving at the very first distribution point today at Wat Chalong. As we drive in, you haven't seen it yet, but you will in a moment. You'll see that there's a very long line of people waiting for us. Just as Nando points the car towards that line. You can see the line there now. They're aware that we only have 150 bags to hand out today, so hopefully only 150 people here waiting. That's not the experience we have all the time though, quite often we run out. So I just had a chat with Nando, and him and I are seriously concerned. That's the size of the line. That's the number of the life bags left. We're not going to have enough. This is the reality of what we have here doing this program now, 19 months, and it's heartbreaking. That's stop one of the day done, Nando, at Chalong. And we were pretty worried about running out there, and actually in the end, not enough, mate. How's it feel?
It's feel horrible. You see the people's face, and they, some places you get really organized. Like today, we have these little coupons, and you see how many bags each person gonna go. But the bag was started running out, and the queue is still longer. About 50 people to 40 people didn't have a bags today, and wasn't our fault. Because if we knew how many people will be here, for sure we will make the way to provide to them. But we only agreed to 150 people here on the Chalong temple, so for this area. So it was a breaking heart to leave, and we live and still people have no food to eat today. It's it's beyond our powers, because now we go to another community. It could be even worse. So, and then you should I go back and give another 60 bags, and another community going to be without food? So it's a breaking heart to see the situation what we see today.
Yeah, it's true. What Nando said, we pre-organized 150, and then We gave out little tickets to the 150 that were identified as being the most in need. The problem is that most in need doesn't mean that there aren't other needy people in that area. And so what we have is we had, I think there was about 210 people that turned up there hoping that we had extra on board. But we don't operate in a way where we can carry extra. You know, today we have a set amount per area that we're going to, and you know, this is the reality of what we do. We run out quite frequently. All right, so next stop, we're going back to where the life bags are. We're going to pack the trucks again, and then we're going to head on out. All right, so Zeera is loading up this truck here. About 250 we're going to get in this truck. I have 2 places to go in this delivery, and then we have to come back for more. The Sutai truck's already loaded up. Rightio, 2 trucks loaded, about 250 bags per truck. Nando, we've been doing this so long now that you and I actually know exactly how many bags can go in a truck, how many bags can go in a back seat, how many bags can go in a front seat. You think that these skills are going to be good life skills for us in the future, Nando?
I hope not. I hope it's not going to be a skills, because if we don't doing this, mean because people need it, and I hope this all this will when reopen, the tourism come back, and we don't need to have these kind of calculation hard anymore. But right now we're on the top of our game, and
yeah, look, we believe that right now, like as I said, we're 19 months in, but we're just the gap guys. Right now there's a bit of a gap for jobs, there's a bit of a gap in the economy, people can't survive, so we're just feeling that until such time that tourism returns in a way where we're no longer needed, and that'll be the greatest day. That'll be the day to celebrate, because this is not something that we hope to do long term, because that means that this economic problem exists long term. So the best thing that could possibly ever happen for all of us is that this stops, because tourism will return and everyone's got a job. And really you're just seeing just a snapshot of one day, because this week we've delivered supplies to Gokgale for about 700 super life bags. These are for people who are in quarantine. Another 250 into Bandon. On top of that, another 1,100 as well. Then we're supporting a guy who's cooking 340 meals a day for people who are in community isolation. That's Bang Akachai, who's been helping ever since the start of COVID. So, you know, these things, this is just a snapshot today of what you're seeing, but let's hope that you can understand a little bit more about what it is we're doing.
Yeah, is there like the week is not just today, the week is like more than like wherever we were expected.
So here we are, guys. We're unloading these bags here. This community here has 25 houses that have COVID infections in it. So to the safety of our team, we won't actually be delivering it straight into the house. There's going to be a public health team that's coming in with full PPE to take them to the houses. Now 25 houses doesn't mean 25 people. Most of the houses here are going to be between 8 and 11 people in total. On top of that, these life bags are also going to go out to other people who are in need, not just the community isolation. So that's stop 2 for the day done, Nando. No handing out in that one though, because of the COVID cases in that area. The public health's going to come in and take care of that. Moving on to stop 3, and then we actually have to go back and get more life bags and go do a few more stops.
Yeah, let's go. So where are we going now?
We're actually going to Bangtao now. We're going to be helping some of the community there that's in isolation. A lot of people don't realize this, but across Phuket there is a lot of community isolation, home isolation, villages locked down. The media is not covering it so much because I think the government's probably not providing that information in a very clear way. But part of the job here at 5-Star and our relief project is to know these communities, get in there and help them, and provide the food, because like they're 19 months into no jobs, and now they're being told to stay home for the good of the health of the community. And what are they meant to eat? Rightio guys, another 50 life bags here for community isolation. Again, we are just dropping these bags off. We won't be going into the isolated community. Public health officers will take it for us in their PPE. This is a whole street that's been sealed. Inside 2 rows of 20 houses, so 50 life bags in that area. All right, Nando, so that's, my brain's starting to forget, that's top 4 for the day.
4 for the day.
Yeah, we're just talking to the Puye Ban there, who speaks very, very good English. And he was telling us that these particular people that we're helping, they're in what's called HI, home isolation.
Is a program?
So, the government has got so many different isolation programs. They have quarantine, in hospital, and then they have
like field hospital.
No, that's actual hospital. So then after that they have hospital, which is spelled TEL, which is like quarantine in a hotel. Then they have quarantine in a field hospital. Then they have quarantine in what they call community isolation. Then they have their community COVID centers, which is another one. And then we have HI, which is home isolation, which is what we're just helping just now. The Puye Ban was telling us that this particular group that we're helping have just spent 14 days in hospital, so that's quarantine in a hotel, come out, but one of them tested positive.
Oh no.
So after that 14 days, now they've been ordered to do 14 days home isolation. So it's actually, by the end of it, they've done 28 days.
And without going to work, without going home,
They can't work. The government can't afford to support them. They don't have food from any source. I was actually talking to the guy Akachai, who's cooking for these people, and he was telling me that generally the Talang Hospital is meant to be helping people in isolation with food. But they're overwhelmed with so many people.
Yeah.
They just don't have the capacity to do it,
So luckily we have that's the amazing thing about Thailand. You have help from everywhere. The Puya Bans and your neighbors and everyone try helping, because they understand this is not the fight you can fight alone. If you don't have friends right now or someone really care about you, you cannot. Your mental, you break down.
That's a little bit of the behind the scenes. A lot of people see that the foreigners are out there helping, and they are. And certainly this program is foreigner funded. But if you see any of the footage today, it's all Thais are out there helping, doing the handouts. And the Puye Ban we're talking to just there was also saying that on top of the life bags that we're giving, he's got some Thai donors giving some water and some extra stuff as well. So there are people out there in the community that are not foreigners that are helping out, and every time we go see these, not just the people handing in the lines, but also the Puye Bans and the village chiefs and the mayors, they're all very thankful, aren't they, Nando?
Yeah. Is it because I think they are all big family, right?
Yes, yeah, that's it. Everybody helping each other. So off the next spot, off to Mannix, 100 life bags, then we're going to go back and fill the trucks again. Rightio, Nando, on the second last delivery of today, heading out towards Bungrong, which is actually the very first pier that 5-Star Marine ever worked from. So headed out there with 150 life bags that are in this car. The second car has got 200 life bags that will go down to Phuket town this evening. So Nando and I are going to do this delivery, and then we're going to leave Zeera and her team to do the last one down into Phuket town. Now Bang Rong actually has been really devastated. This is a community that is really centered around a pier. That pier generally does all the transfers from Phuket to Koh Yao Yai and Koh Yao Noi. These locations obviously aren't getting transfers at the moment because too many COVID tests involved, vaccinations, rules like crazy. So this is our personal last delivery of the day, number 5. And the 6th one's going to be by Zeera and her team down in Phuket town. Any last thoughts before we finish off this delivery?
Oh no, it's today we start 9 o'clock. It was 9:15. Probably we're gonna finish like 4 o'clock today. Gonna be the last delivery, yeah. And
we will. We're a little bit lucky, but like a Zeera, I think, than that, we're gonna finish about 6:37 by the time they get back from Phuket town. So this is the kind of days that you have to do though to make it work, man. You know, like
yeah. I remember Zeera doing like until 10 o'clock in the evening.
How many times we've been to pick up life bags today? 1, 2, 3 times we've been back and forward to pick it up. But you know, this is just part of it, and this is, for us, it's kind of like what we're used to. You know, remember when we first started out, like in the first few months, we'd pack the trucks at like 6 o'clock in the morning so that we could be ready to get out and get going. So, you know, this is just part and parcel of what you do when you're doing food relief projects like this. So let's go see what Bang Rong's like. Long time since I've been there. Actually, it'd be nice to be back in that area.
All right, let's go.
So the last stop here in Bang Rong, and it's looking like, just like in Shillong, we're running out of life bags. Speaking honestly, this is about 4 days later past that delivery. We stopped filming after Bang Rong because we were just shattered. It's just so heartbreaking to run out of life bags, and to run out twice in the same day. Just Nando and I couldn't film anymore. So Zeera continued on to Phuket town. She delivered the last truck worth of life bags, got home about 7 o'clock at night. So this is what a day in the life of our life bag delivery program looks like. You know, someone like Zeera gets home, goes to bed, wakes up the next day, gets the truck again, and off she goes and does a day like that pretty much 5 days a week. You know, right now I'm about to jump in the car, head on down to Sutai, check our supplies, because we've got a big pack going on Saturday. So if you'd like to know more about what we're doing here at 5-Star Marine to help the local community, if you'd like to know how you can reach out and help, leave a comment on the video or check the links below for all the details in the YouTube description.